Hey, hey! I was just was just down the hallway telling my husband I'm doing a TikTok live. I'm doing a TikTok live, and then I walk in and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's time to do the TikTok live. Checking out my new haircut. Haven't washed it yet, I admit, and I feel like I'm a little bit of a greasy mess today, but no big deal. No big deal. It's a beautiful day out. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Crazily enough, I think our heat is on, and it's colder than the warm. The warm. So good morning. Good morning. Or no, I guess, well, it could be morning where you are. It just turned afternoon where I am. It's 12:01 Eastern. My name is Beth, Destination Decluttering Life Coach, as I like to let people know in case we've never made it. Happy Wednesday, Alice. Nice to see you, German maid. And yeah, this is weird. I don't know why. Maybe our house is too warm and it's trying to cool down. That'd be weird. That'd be weird. You know what? I feel like I need to mute this because I'm going to yell down the hallway, but let me just do this. Hey, Boo-Boo, can you make sure the AC didn't come on? Thank you. So we don't have an intercom in our house. I just yell down the hallway and then he yells back. So, hello. So, TikTok Live, what can I say? Doing these a couple of days in a row because why the heck not? I think it's fun. And why not do the things you think are fun? Strangely enough, it may be strange to you, but I legit enjoy helping people with their clutter because I used to be cluttered and I'm still, I have a cluttered mind. It would be kind of hysterical if you saw me kind of bopping around today. Sometimes I can be focused and other times I'm like, oh, you know what I want to do? I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, and I want to do that. And I did have a little bit of a trail around me where I can see where I went to go get some tea, and then I was going to put some stuff, take some stuff out of the dryer, and then I was like, oh, that's right, I want to check to see if I can do this. Sorry, and now I just got distracted by a text, but sometimes it's time to focus, and other times it feels fun and you get stuff done, and it's fun when you're kind of puttering around, bopping around from flower to flower like a butterfly. So I did a little bit of bopping around today because I knew that I had a TikTok live happening. So I knew I didn't want to get totally into something engrossed and then have to kind of pull myself out of it. So that maybe that's with you too when you're cluttering. Maybe you're feeling a struggle to focus on stuff. You're overwhelmed, maybe too much. It was interesting. I was on a coaching call yesterday with a client who said that she doesn't think of the overwhelm is different to her than being stressed about stuff. And I thought, oh, interesting. Interesting, because I just use the word overwhelm as that kind of feeling you get when you're like, whoa, and you're kind of notice even my body language. It's like, whoa, back off. This is too much. I can't do it. And here's the thing. And Clara is saying right now, I jump around from things to things too. I like to think of being flexible and you have a balance. Sometimes it is really good. The only way you can really get something done is to concentrate on it and get to it. Bopping around and, bopping around from thing to thing, puttering, doing that little bit here, a little bit there can be good at a time, but too much of either extreme of the focus or of the bopping around, it's a combo of those things that gets you the results you want. Now I say this because in the last hour, man, what have I done? I am so excited. I just have to share. This is also that notion of pre-planning and getting things in a row. My birthday is not until August. And my husband and I just booked, and this may not be your jam, but this is so my jam, an architectural house tour for my birthday in August. And these tickets were like, I felt like I was back in the parking lot of Good Vibrations trying to get, Depeche Mode tickets circa 1985. Because I was like, okay, you get on, I get on, hit the feeder button, refresh, do it. So I've gotten a lot done by popping around doing some little tiny things. Now, other times I need to focus, and later this afternoon I will do some focusing when I know I have some time to do that. So I just offer this as an experience, in my own life, that there's the both and, Clara, I'm August 7th. Do not stalk me, but thank you. Yes, that's me. So anyhow, hello, Beth, Destination Decluttering Life Coach, here to help you. Oh, Kara's got the rain. Snuggling with your puggling, huh? Puggling with the snug. And then making savers boxes. I love it. I love it. And yes, Abbott Elementary, thank you. Sounds like a fun birthday. It's going to be a fun birthday. What I will share with you is when you learn, and I mean Abbott Elementary, I know you and I have talked about this, how the way that you approach one thing, the decluttering, is getting a destination and saying, here I am, how do I get there? I use that all the time. Where is it? Whatever day it is. May 8th. I'm looking out June, July, August, 3 months out. I want to be here at this certain time. What do I need to get there? Oh, I need to buy tickets. Oh, the tickets are not available. How can I find out when they're available? I will email them. They tell me. I show up. I do it. Now I have the tickets. What else do I want to do? Oh, I want to go to a restaurant. I've got these 2 restaurants I want to go to because we're going to Los Angeles. I want to see when they're open. Okay, well, one of them's closed on Monday. Good to know. The more you know what you want, and you have a process that you can say, I'm here, that's there, what do I need to do to get there? It just becomes a second nature, a way of processing the world to get you the result you want. Okay? Kara, actually not Falling Water. I've been there, and once, twice, just once, a few times I made it. We went to Falling Water a number of years ago, and then we went to Kentuck Knob, and where was the other place? Oh, there's a place called, and this is totally kind of like a little side thing as far as architectural tours, Polymath Park. Google it. It's near Kentuck Knob and everything like that. It's pretty cool. So if you're into mid-century modern architecture, actually, here's the one you can Google. Yeah, Falling Water was like our church. Google this one, the Stahl House, Stahl, Stahl House in Los Angeles. That's where we're going. Okay. But enough about me. I am here for you, because you may be struggling with clutter and saying, I don't have time to do the things I want to do, like going on an architectural tour. I can only do the things I want to do after I clean my house. Were you like that growing up? Oh, you've been awesome. Were you like that growing up? You couldn't go walk downtown with your friends to go buy Bonnie Bell lip gloss at Carol Cosmetics and or actually no, it would have been Maybelline lip gloss or something. Bonnie Bell lip smackers at CVS, and then you would go check out the stuff. You couldn't do that until you cleaned your room. I can't have fun until my house is clean. Does that? I mean, I used to think that way. Now here's the wonderful thing. This is why I show up to show you how to do these things. You can go have fun and not have your house clean. You can have your house a little bit clean and go have fun. The goal for me is to help you have fun in your house, have fun out of your house, and have it so it's not clean or dirty. It's always just a nice little, a little bit of, you don't live in a museum. You're going to have stuff that's like, I know I have stuff on top of the washer and dryer right now. I've got actually some sheets that I need to organize that are on top of my bureau. Right now I've got a little bit of, but I've got surface clutter. I've got the surface clutter of everyday life in my house. But when I go to store my clutter, when I open up a door to a cupboard, to a closet, to the basement, to a room, when I open up a door or a drawer, like a junk drawer or a drawer, where else would you have drawers? I'm wearing drawers right now, waka waka. When you open up a drawer or a door, stored clutter that you know exactly what you have, you can easily find things, easily use it, easily put it away. This is the delight that decluttering brings you. Abbott Elementary, remember you just kept on saying, oh my God, this is fabulous. I know where my things are. My place looks cleaner because I'm putting them away. That's why I show up in your life right now, even if we're not coaching buddies. I do one-on-one coaching. I do this to help you realize that there's another way. Now I'm going to quickly go to the side and have a little side convo with Kara. Kara saying, Stahl House at dusk, amazing. It will make you want to declutter all day long. Okay, yep, the Ames House and Hollyhock House. The Hollyhocks. Now I'm riffing on that thing you do. But yes, we got the evening tour of the Stahl House. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to be there when it was dusk and it started to get dark, so we could look out over Los Angeles and see the sun setting over the what is that, the Pacific? So thank you for reinforcing. But when you know what you want, when your destination, it's so much easier to get there. I won't want to leave. Yeah, maybe I'll move in. They can't let me go. Don't let me go. What I want to offer to you is the excitement I feel about my destination on my birthday in 3 months could be the destination feeling you feel about getting your house decluttered. Not getting it decluttered, but having it decluttered. When you are excited about where you're going, man, you will do different things along the road to get there. On the flip side, if you're not excited about where you're going, it's probably why you're dragging your feet. Would you drag your feet if somebody said, hey, you want to go to the beach with me? Hopefully not. Now, I say the beach because the beach is one of my happy places. Actually, I just got a text about somebody asking me if they want to go to the beach. I find ways to make the stuff I want to happen. But I haven't always been this way. I grew up in a house that was like, well, maybe someday, or just flat out, no. So I learned to stop asking for what I wanted. I learned to stop even dreaming of what I wanted because every time I did, the answer was no. So why even, if it's not going to happen, why even pay attention to it? I want to help you stop that. Now, as you can tell, you're like, ooh, this is kind of weird. This is different talk from a decluttering coach. Destination Decluttered? What are you talking about doing stuff in your life? It's because I'm also a certified life coach because I totally, maybe you can't, but I see the symbiosis, the dance, the intertwining of how you treat your home, what you do in your home, and what you do with your life. Because if your home is not looking like you want it to, or feeling like you want it to, or functioning like you want it to, I have a sneaking suspicion that your life is not looking or functioning or feeling like you want it to. Am I right? I don't know. You don't have to answer me in the comments, but you can just ask yourself, how do I feel in my home? How do I feel in my life? If both of those are not like a green light, I love it, let's fix it. Let's fix it. Let's change it even. Not fix, there's nothing broken, but just let's change it. So you're loving your home and therefore you're learning how to love your life. Okay? So I love doing this. Where's my little blanket? I always like to have a little lamp blanket on, even when it's warm. Excuse me. Now, how can I help you? It's as easy as that. Here's the interesting thing. When you sign on, I love it. Clara is making progress slowly but moving forward. That's all you can ask for. That's something to delight in and celebrate. Making progress. Slowly moving forward. How about this? Slowly. You're cruising along. You're cruising along. You're feeling good. You're able, when you're moving along at a slow pace, you're able to observe what's around you. When you're racing too much, when you're in the fast lane, fast, too much, you can't see what's around you. I want you to think about this as a road trip. When you're driving at a pace that feels good to you, you have time to observe what's around you. You can look from right to left and still be making progress. You can delight in the little moments, the little things you saw, the little things you did. And you can come to the end of that day of driving and feel good about what you did and how you did it. So good. So good. So good. Brookie Baby is asking about suggestions for counter and paper clutter. Oh, I am so good at this. And I don't say that to show off. I say this because I have so many ways I can help you with this. So the first thing I want you to think about, I love that you says counter clutter, not counterculture. All right? A counter is a surface. A counter is really also what was the word I used today on my coaching call? A container. A counter is a place to put stuff. Just like a box or a drawer or a bin or a tote or a basket or a bag. It's a surface that you put things on. So think about what's on what I like to call your surface clutter. Surface clutter is the most easy layer of clutter to deal with because typically, its origins are, this is something that is temporarily where it shouldn't be. You know, I came and I dumped my stuff in the hallway because I was coming into the house because I had to pee. The stuff doesn't live in the hallway, but then I go back to the hallway and I clean it up and I put my stuff away. Now what you quickly may realize, so I'm just letting you know the process, you may realize that one of the reasons that you have stuff on the surfaces is because you don't have a place to store it. That either you haven't assigned like a home to it. This is where my scissors go. This is where my shoes go. These are where my groceries go. These are where my papers go. Or the place you have assigned it, the home for your papers, is too full. So, Brookie Baby, I ask you this. With paper clutter, A, do you have a home for it? Yes or no? And if you have a home for it, is it also cluttered? So start with that. Ask yourself those simple questions. Put it in the comments, and then we can go from there. Now I love this. Ms. Seashell is saying, I am getting rid of all my pool gear. Okay. I haven't had a pool for 2 years. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm glad you're doing that. I bet there's somebody out there, if there's anything usable and you're donating it, somebody who also has a pool is going to be, hell yeah. I want those floaties, you know. But yes, notice the time that you hang on to stuff is what causes its clutter. You've had 2 years of having pool stuff taking up space, not only in your house, garage, whatever, pool room, but in your head. Oh, that's right. I have to deal with that. Do not underestimate how much your physical clutter clutters up your brain. Your physical clutter adds to your mental clutter, and vice versa. Okay? I love it. GGX 2000 cleaned all my crystal in my china cabinet, chunked it down. I love it. The chunking it down is a game changer. I have learned myself even to do that a lot more recently, and boy, has that helped. So I take my own, the things I suggest to my one-on-one clients, the things that I coach people on, the things that I, excuse me, just making sure here, the things that I teach you as on these TikTok lives, or when you're on the mailing list, Destination Decluttered mailing list, or when I do my one-on-one coaching with people, are things that I do myself. I am not about to tell you to do something like, don't do what I say as I do, or whatever it is. So chunking it down, such a good idea. Okay, I love it. Speaking of chunking it down, Brenda is saying, I have ADHD. Welcome to the club, my dear. And have had to learn to make tiny steps. Yeah. If you're kind of an all or nothing person, the people I know with ADHD, myself included, has what do I want to say, is wired to either do all or nothing and not hang out in the middle. Instead, you're either on the roadside not doing anything, or you're in the fast lane scooting by when you have hyper focus and all this energy. But when you run out of that energy, you're back to sitting on the side of the road. Now that is a way of driving. You can drive until you're exhausted and then park and then recuperate and drive and whatever. What I offer to teach you, what I do teach you when you're one of my clients, is a way to learn how to drive at a pace that is more sustainable. That it feels good when you are driving every day. It feels good when you're deciding to stop. And it feels good because you've learned how to get started after you've stopped. Shifting gears. Remember how you learned how to shift gears when you were driving a car? You learned that by practice. So I love that you were learning about there. Okay, it's all school paper that are in limbo. Okay, limbo. Limbo is kind of between two worlds. It's school paper. Okay, so it's stuff you have to file, or is it stuff you need to do something with? There's it's like, should I stay or should I go now? It's like, why do I have this paper? I need to do something with this paper. This paper is saved to remind me to do something. Or I did something and now this is the paper evidence of me doing something. Hope that helps. Ask, what's the limbo between? What's the Scylla and Charybdis? I'm trying to think of other limbos. Oh, I guess heaven and hell is limbo. Purgatory, for those of you. So yeah, I love it. GGX 2000 is saying chunk it down is so valuable because I'm still able to do everything else I have to do in that day too. Yeah. The all or nothing. I remember hearing this once from one of the people on my TikTok lives. And if you're just meeting me, Beth, Destination Decluttered, Decluttering Life Coach, at your service. All or nothing tends to get you a lot of nothing. Because if you say, I can't do it all, so I'm not going to do anything, you typically can't do it all, so you don't do anything. I say there's a middle ground. Strangely, it's kind of like limbo. It's not all or nothing. It's in the middle. You can do something. And when you do something, you can do some other stuff on that day too. It's just a different way of thinking about how you're doing stuff. And when you think differently, you're going to feel differently. You're going to say, instead of I can't do that because I can't do it all, you say, hey, you know what? I can do some of it today. I was waiting for my tea cup to hotten, and I washed a handful of dishes, literally a handful of dishes, a couple of knives, a couple of somethings. I did something. I didn't do everything. No. I did something. thing. Ooh, I just noticed my eyebrows. I got them dyed yesterday. Ooh, I look like... So chunking it down is one of the things that I teach you and help you practice as your driving coach. Help you practice doing something you didn't know how to do before. Help you practice parallel parking. Now, trust me, don't ask me to teach you how to parallel park, but if I did it enough and I practiced enough, I would be better at it. Okay? I love it. Trixie just says, I did that too. Washed the hand wash dishes. There we go. I love it. I love it. Tumble Betty says, okay, this is the side of TikTok I want to be on. Welcome, friend. Come on in. The water's fine. We're paddling around in the surface area, and then we might get into the slightly deeper end of why you're cluttered. Go to the deep, which is the sentimental stuff, the stuff you're struggling with. I'm here with you. I'm not a great swimmer in real life, but man, can I navigate the waters of clutter like an expert. And I'm not even a boater either. Okay, so welcome. Okay, interesting. Alice is saying, I think I'm doing my own encampment on the don't do anything side. Yeah, you've camped out on the side of the road. Ask yourself why. Okay, I love this. Clara is saying, I just did a paper pile, and she's saying this to Brookie. I love how people, when we do this, and I'll just say this to Tumble Betty, I think that was your name. The cool thing is when I do these TikTok lives, I do them like pretty much almost every day. I'm going to do a lot, and then I'm going to be off the digital grid, as I like to say, for 2 weeks because I'm going and traveling. This is how I roll. But while we're here and we do these things, there's a wonderful sense of community that even if you're showing up because you're struggling with something, I bet you do something that can help somebody else. It's like stone soup. So Clara is saying, hey, Brookie baby, I just did a paper pile yesterday. Used the back of the school stuff as scrap. You know? Susan Porter is saying, same with the ADHD. I had to learn good enough is okay. Doesn't have to be perfect all the time. In fact, I want us to get really noticey, curious. Notice when you use the word perfect. Now, I use it, and I already am thinking of a way that I want to rephrase this, because I have a phrase when I'm working with my clients, and I talk about, and maybe I'll experiment with it right now. I talk about the stored clutter and how you have to, there's a certain process you go through with stored clutter. And there's a phrase that I use, and I want to give it to you like this, and I'm going to try to change it so I don't use the word perfect. It's going to it's going to look and feel temporarily worse. Well, this is good. Before it looks and feels permanently, I guess that was where the permanently better. So maybe it's not perfection. Perfection is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Perfection sounds like a good idea, but nothing is ever perfect, so you never get there, so you just get frustrated. And knowing you'll never get there, you're never going to start because it never will be perfect. Copy and replace. You know how you do like Control F, and then you could do Control whatever it is on your thing? Every time you think of perfection, I want you to replace it with a better word. And that better word is better. I'm not going for perfection. I'm just going for better than it is now. And better is better because the definition is so much more expansive. Okay? Hope that helps. There we go. What else do we have here? Wash the dishes. Happy Wednesday. Backing it up. Here we go. Hey, Carla Holiday. See you in a few hours, my dear. Skedaddle. My problem is my mind. Going to everything else that needs to be done and giving up on that check. I will share with you. Yeah. Our minds are going like 90 miles an hour. Practice slowing it down. Practice acknowledging, yes, I know I have a lot of things to do, but I'm practicing right now, focusing on this one thing. Now, you don't have to do this all the time. I started this call about 24 minutes ago, kind of having had bopped around for like 55 minutes because I had an hour and I had a whole bunch of little things I wanted to do. And I knew I didn't want to go deep and do a deep dive and then have to kind of, I always think of it as like a deep dive. You know, you get underwater, you feel submerged. You feel like, oh yeah, this is where I want to hang out. I really want to get into this thing. I know when I have something to do at a certain time beforehand that it's not good for me to go deep because then I need to go swim out of that feeling so that I could show up at noontime for this. So I said, okay, if I only have this amount of time and I don't want to go deep, what's some shallow things I can do in the meantime? Okay, so practice, skedaddle. One of the things I have practiced, and it has gotten better and easier. I have practiced not being an all or nothing. I have practiced learning how to get myself started. I have practiced stopping and then starting again. I have practiced showing up and knowing there's all sorts of things, but instead of getting distracted by all those other things, I practice focusing on the one thing, even if it's literally using then my timer for 10 minutes and saying, I'm going to practice not being distracted. The more things you practice, the better at them you get. You have the habit, your brain has the habit of being distracted, but you can practice not being as distracted. Okay? I love that you are noticing that one of the things that's stopping you from getting to your destination decluttered is how your mind causes your body to move. You started moving forward and then you got distracted, and then you got distracted, and then you got distracted. It happens. But the more you can practice noticing that and then going back to what you were doing, the sooner you get back on the track to your destination. Okay? Okay, love it. Peace, love, no hate. Awesome. Trying to lose weight and too many clothes that don't fit. Closet is overwhelmed. Closet is overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed. You're feeling overwhelmed because you have too many things, too many clothes that don't fit. Where to start? Let me help you with that. I want you to think of this one first. Everybody, the first step in anything is checking in with how you feel before you go forward. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, that is a feeling in your body, right? It's kind of like I'm thinking the word overwhelm up here. Ooh, that feels good, huh? I'm thinking the word overwhelm, but when I'm thinking that word of overwhelm, I'm feeling overwhelmed. So notice that feeling in your body, and let's change it. When you feel overwhelmed, I want you to think of the word down. I want you to think of slowing down, breathing down into the body. I want you to think of quieting down, of slowing down, quieting down, breathing down, chunking down, calming down, nervous system. If somebody's all, I'm too overwhelmed and distracted, shh, let's quiet down. Let's do this. Quiet down. Get yourself feeling better. That's always going to be the very first step. That feeling also probably gets you, hopefully if you do that, you'll get to a place where instead of feeling like I can't do this, if you feel better, hopefully you're going to feel like I can do something about this. I can do something about my closet. When you start to feel better, when you've gone from overwhelmed to down, over to down, notice the opposites there. I want you to think of this. Chunking it down. We were talking about chunking it down above thread. I want you to always make sure you're checking in with your nervous system, your head. I like to think of your head and your hearts in your hand, or your heart in your hands. Your heart is like my shortcut for like nervous system, feeling your body, not just your brain. And then I want you to think of chunking it down. Now the cool thing is about chunking it down, chunking equals categories. A chunk is a category. A chunk is your clothing. So your clothing is already in categories. You already started doing this. You said, I have clothes that fit, and I have clothes that are, where is it, say, don't fit. 2 categories. Now get curious about that. The ones that don't fit, are they too big or are they too small? You can separate that into 2 more categories. That's about as big. I don't like to get things too fussy. But here's where I want to suggest that you can do. If you are in a part of your life where you're trying to go from one size to another, you have clothes that currently fit your body, and you may have some that are too big from when you lost weight, and you may have some that are too small because you're not that weight yet. Now, what I recommend is love who you are right now while you're also changing yourself if you want to. So take that one category of clothing, of stuff that fits and don't fits, and then take the don't fits into too big, too small. Make 2 totes, make 2 boxes. All the stuff that doesn't fit because it's too small, put it in a box. Label it, put a date on it, put it away. What's the word I want to use? Store it somewhere else outside of your closet. Or even just put it in the box and put it on the floor of your closet. Same thing with the stuff that's too big, too small, pack them away, and just hang up what you're currently wearing. Put a date on it, and then as your body starts to change in either direction, you know that you have those clothes there that you can move into. If you've gained weight or you lost more weight, you have them there. But while you're here, you're not overwhelmed by looking at it all. You're looking at one category. These are the clothes that fit my body right now on May 8th, 2024. Now notice that you have probably a feeling in you that's causing you to hang on to these. The fear of not staying at one size. I may gain weight. I want to keep my big clothes. And I'm also trying to encourage myself to get smaller by keeping my small clothes. Notice those things, but start with the overwhelm. Calm down your nervous system first. That's where I will always start. Then, when you're feeling better, you're going to do better, and you're going to do it better by chunking it down, writing it down, all those things. Hope that helps. Okay. Riley Beam Team is saying, my garage is the catch-all. Oh, don't you love that? There's even a thing like a catch-all. This is my catch-all. Okay, can't even park in my 2-car garage. I didn't know for decades that you were technically actually supposed to park your car in a garage. That was a foreign concept to me. Okay. Noticing you have depression, factor that in. Okay? Factor that in. If it's a catch-all, your all is categories. You've got categories. Everybody, as soon as you click on the pattern matching part of your brain, you're going to start to look for matches. You're going to start to look for categories. What are some categories of stuff that's in your garage? How about a category of, and this is a nice one, stuff I don't want anymore. Start with that. That's the clutter. The clutter you don't want. The clutter is the stuff you don't want anymore. If you have a hard time getting it out of your house, get curious about why you're not getting rid of it. This is one of the things my coaching helps, Okay? So just think about these things, all right? All right. I love this. People helping people. People who need people. There we go. Gina Loves Flowers says, my baby steps are, and I love it, chunking it down. Baby steps are adding up. My baby steps are adding up. I toss things more easily. I love the word easy. And I tell myself I'm proud of me for tossing that. Yes, easy, proud of yourself, baby steps, adding up. Awesome, good stuff. Teresa Griffin is asking if I did finish my mother's attic. I didn't finish it, no. I had kind of hoped I would, but I'll share this with you. There was a lot more to go through than I had the time and frankly energy for. No, actually I would have used the time if I had the energy, but my energy was exhausted because it was a lot of mental energy up there. It was categorizing, and it was also having to do a deep sort of things that had been thrown up there kind of in confusion. So I wanted to feel good about how I sorted through things because I would find cool stuff in the midst of random things. So I didn't finish it, but I will share with you, kind of like Gia Loves Flowers was saying, I am proud of me for getting to where I did with the amount of time and energy that I had up there. So I feel so good about what I did. And I'm not beating myself up about it's not perfect. Perfect. It's not perfect. The only person who was calling it perfect would be me, and I can change that at any time. I am proud of what I did, and it's going to be so much easier when I go back the next time because there's just this little section. There's a couple little sections I need to do. And notice I say I need to do. I don't have to do any of it. There's a couple of sections I want to do. I look forward to going through that other section and saying maybe there's more cool stuff in this box, or maybe it's all stuff I can just bring to the dump. But thank you for asking. I didn't finish. That's okay. Man, am I closer to being done up there than I ever have been. And I feel good about it. Oh, somebody's got mice. It happens. Sometimes the mice can help you declutter because you don't want stuff with mice poops in it. Okay? Jess in LA, nice to see you. I make lists of stuff to clean or throw out or recycle. Helps feel accomplished. If I am not a list maker, oh my gosh, that's one of the steps. Calming down your nervous system. Writing down the stuff that's in your head. Chunking it down once you see it, and then getting it done. I love it. Yay. It's very cool. Carla Holiday is saying accountability is actually freeing me. Family and friends know that I am doing the Beth Meets. Yeah, we're working together as one-on-one clients. And yes, accountability is a tool in your toolkit. If you find being accountable to somebody helps you get shit done, then use the accountability. If you think that, anything that you can put in your toolkit to help you get stuff done, build your toolkit. Your tools help you get things done easily. You don't need to do it all alone. I love it. 8-9 Design says practice equals progress, not perfection, and progress equals happiness. You got it. Oh, you got it. Wonderful things. All right. Okay, Ms. Seashell says, I get overwhelmed by the amount of clutter. Yes, overwhelm, amount, quantity. This is me. I'm not doing like my Vogue dancing, or I'm not like all new wave on you. But if you're looking at the screen, I want you to think of this. You have an amount of items in your home that feels just right. When I talk about just right, my hands go here because the feeling of just right kind of lives here. When I have this amount of items in my home, I feel good. Anything below that, I start to feel a little bit anxious because I'm in lack. I don't have enough. Anything above that tends to make me feel overwhelmed. I'm in over my head. There's too much stuff. It's kind of piling up. I'm feeling suffocated. I'm drowning in it. Notice that. When you do that, what I want you to think of is notice how that drowning, grasping, gasping feeling can make you feel like you can't breathe. That means your nervous system is activated. Zing! Ah. Notice how we said when you feel overwhelmed, deal with your nervous system first. Breathe down, calm down, slow down. Okay? So don't get overwhelmed by the amount of clutter. Chunk it down. Look at one thing. Don't look at the whole room. Look at one section. Chunk it down, calm down. Say, I can do something about this one section. I'm going to put blinders on, like those little horses used to wear, and I'm just going to focus on this one thing, and I'm going to do that. And when I do that, then the room is going to look better. Okay? Looking at it all, the amount of clutter, I feel anxious and depressed. Don't look at it all. Look at a little bit and say, I can do something about this. You can't do anything about everything. You can do something about a little bit. Okay? But please, 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 notice there is a physical, like, what do they call that? Your somatic. I hate the fancy words, just annoy me. The somatic body. How you feel has to do with if you're doing stuff or not. You are feeling good, you are feeling bad, you are feeling frustrated, you are feeling overwhelmed. We can change that feeling. Blonde silliness, you have no idea how to start? How about calming your system down? So you have an idea of how to start. Here's the beautiful thing. I see this all the time in my coaching. When I work with you and we practice getting yourself feeling better, the answers pop out of your own brain. Your brain wants to solve the problems, but it can't do it when it's in fight or flight mode, when it's in overwhelm. As soon as you quiet down your nervous system and you're feeling better, your brain can do what it was meant to do, which is solve problems and make you feel better. It wants to take away the pain that you're feeling, and it's coming up with solutions. Your brain is able to talk to you, your spirit, your what I call your co-pilot. Once you quiet down the backseat driver feelings that is causing you to go ba, quiet that down, then you can listen to the answers in your own brain, and your own brain will tell you what you need to do. Okay? Hope that helps. All right. What else do we have? Elderly and low energy, difficult to find help. Okay. User 7021. I bet there's help out there for you. The other thing I will offer, because there's help for the elderly, both paid and unpaid, people from your family, you can think of your concentric circles. We help people. We've got neighbors. We help people, like maybe you go to church. There is help out there. Me even just showing up on TikTok is kind of helping you. What I want you to think of is the help you need, the low energy. I want you to think of the decluttering is not about moving the physical items. The last part of the decluttering process is the physical moving of the items. The first part starts up here in your head. Is saying, what do I want this room to look like? And how can what stays and what goes? That's all problem solving and decision making. So you can do stuff up here, okay? And there we go. And yeah, blonde silliness, my heart goes out to you. I'm so overwhelmed with being a full-time caregiver for mom with dementia. My house is horrendous. Okay, Blondie and user 7021, there is help out there for you. You do not have to do this alone. You do not have to do this alone. There is help out there. Once you realize there is help out there, it will appear. I don't say people will float to you, but you will look for help on Google. You will find that, okay? And there's help out there. You don't have to do it alone. And if you're doing it alone and you're not asking for help, start to ask for help. Because you deserve to live a life that's not overwhelmed, that your house is horrendous. You got to do something about it. You have to take action. But you can't take action unless you feel like you can do it. So I'm just here to talk to your nervous system, to quiet down your backseat drivers that are afraid you have to do it alone. There's help out there. Okay? Hope that helps. Rainbow Butterfly 87, I have to go by a list. I do too. And to music to get things done. I love that. Finding the tools in your toolkit that make it easier for you to get shit done. Now, I say shit, I actually mean good stuff. Gets good stuff done. I was talking with a one-on-one client yesterday about this. And she said, I really took that to heart. And I said, how can I make this thing that I've been kind of dreading more fun? She got dressed in a different outfit. She put on some music. She got a tasty little beverage. And it felt good. And she started doing it. And that's all it took. Notice the tools you use already. The tools in your toolkit. Build your toolkit. If you don't know what your toolkit is, follow me here on TikTok. Like my page. Follow my page, I guess it is. If you want to get a toe in the water, if you're not ready to commit to one-on-one coaching, I get it. If you're ready to get one-on-one coaching, I'm your coach, and the sooner you get in touch with me about that, honestly, the sooner you get the first dibs on my the slots I have available. But if you're not there yet, we got a nice little middle ground. It's called the Destination Decluttered email mailing list. It is free. You get all sorts of cool stuff. I feel like, like signing up for something when I was a little kid. You get the bumper sticker, you get the patch, you get the pin. I do a monthly group Zoom. That's free. You get notified of all the TikTok lives before I do them. Starting this month, I will share this with you, is all of the TikTok live recordings from May will only be available to the people on the Destination Decluttered mailing list during May. Everybody else will get access to April and year prior, but then each month moving forward, the people on the mailing list get the first dibs. I love first dibs. I want first dibs. I love being on the list. I love being notified about cool stuff before everybody else finds out about it. I love that feeling. So I front load my email list, which is free, with a bunch of other free cool stuff. I like being the person that offers a lot of free stuff, and I love being the person who can do one-on-one coaching with the people who are willing and able and ready to pay for it. It's how I roll. If you're interested on the Destination Decluttered email mailing list, I will just say, destinationdecluttered.com/join. Sign up. All sorts of cool stuff. All right. I love it. Adelia has a friend that tells me every one drawer is progress. I love it. I love seeing the bonding of people here. Hey, Erin, nice to see you. I love it. Tiger Lily says, listening to you is so good for my mental health. Thank you, Beth. You're welcome. Think of me as like a podcast. I'm too lazy to do a podcast. I could, but this to me is, if you don't look at the screen, if you just listen to me in the recordings, just don't look at the screen. Instant podcast. All right. And then Erin, awesome client, says, Beth is the co-pilot voice in my head. And you know what the neat thing is? Here's the great thing. When you start to listen to the co-pilot voice in your head, and it sounds like me, it's only because temporarily you're hearing it in my voice. Soon enough, what you're noticing is that's your voice inside. You have quieted down one of the voices in your head, which is your backseat drivers, the little kids that are keeping you stuck, that just want you to do the same things. Sometimes it's people you know. Sometimes you recognize that's not even my voice. That's my mom. That's that teacher I had. That's that crappy guy I used to work with who told me I was wrong and, I was doing things wrong. You quiet those people down with love, Shh, quiet down. I love you, but hush. This is my life. And when you quiet them down, you allow your voice to speak up, your deeper voice, the one that really knows what's going on and really wants you to have a great life before you kick the bucket. And it's saying, you got this. What do you want to do? You want to do that? Let's do that. That'll be fun. You know what would be fun? Let's do it. And it's coming from a good place. Now, it temporarily may sound like my voice because you hear me talking this so much. But soon enough, it's going to be your voice. Your voice saying, hey, you know what? Shh, quiet down. I want to go to LA and go on this cool thing for my birthday. We're going to do it. Yeah, I know it's going to cost money, but what else is money for but for spending on the things that bring you joy? This is my one life. This is what I want to spend my money on. I'm going to spend my money on it. I'm going to feel good about it. I'm not going to feel dirty and ashamed or poor or freaking out. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy my life. This feels good. I want more of this. And I'm telling you, not to sound like Abraham Hicks, because there's some of that stuff where I'm still kind of a little bit on the outs on that. But when you feel better, it encourages you to take the steps forward to make things happen. You don't necessarily just sit there on your couch and wait for things. What you do is you start taking the steps to make the things happen. And when you realize you can make those things happen yourself, man, you want to make things happen all over the place. It's so cool. It's so freaking cool, you guys. I love it. That's why I want to share it with everybody. You know, it's just such a game changer. And yeah, I kind of wish I had learned it earlier in my life. I'm going to be 58 this year. But boy, do I freaking love every moment that I know how to feel this way and live this way. That I'm okay with me learning it now, because maybe the contrast of not being this way and this makes me appreciate this. It's not just a given. Okay? So just think about this. Now, Dorothy is saying, I have kept up with my progress. Yes, no more table drop-off. Cleaning too. I feel so much better. I love it. Keeping up with the progress. This is an important part of the decluttering process. I want to share this with you because a lot of people think that decluttering is only the part of the process that is saying, I have too much and I'm knocking down those piles. And once the piles are gone, I'm done. That is part of the process. That is an important part of the process. It is only half of the process. The other half of the process is changing your habits incrementally to that you don't pile the stuff up again. It's like gaining weight and losing weight. If you say, I'm going to starve myself and then I'll be there and I go, no. No, you have to be in a maintenance program. You have to live to maintain. And when you learn to do things differently, the stuff doesn't add up again. So I love to hear Dorothy is saying, you know, I have kept up with my progress. It's feeling so much better. And I love this too, because this is how clutter affects your life. Clutter does affect so many areas of your life you're not even aware of. Because Dorothy is now saying, I no longer freak out about unexpected company. You can welcome in unexpected company to your home and not be feeling freaked out about it. You're feeling good and welcoming and relaxed. And come on over, friend. I realize one of the things that really brings me joy in my life is hanging out with people I enjoy hanging out with. On the flip side, I have no interest in hanging out with people I don't enjoy the time with. But making space in my life, space in my home, opportunities for me to connect up with people that I enjoy hanging out with, that brings me joy. Having a home that if somebody showed up at the doorstep, I'd be like, come on in, person. Come on in. Feeling better about opening your door to people increases the quality of your life. Yeah. Now Skedaddle says, love Abraham Hicks. I went to a seminar. I listened to it. It gets me in that right frame of mind. And when I get that way, it changed my vibe and I feel like things are happening. It's easy for me to do this. Okay? So, loving it, people. When is my birthday? My birthday's in August. Thank you. Oh, I love it. Well, Adelia, notice this. The voice in my head is my mom saying, if I have a perfectly clean house, so can you. Now, first of all, every one of us is wired differently. The other thing, too, is maybe you don't want a perfectly clean house. Maybe you want a house that feels comfortable to you. Maybe your mom's house feels too uptight. Maybe she's always spending her time cleaning. I'm not here for your mom. I'm here for you. I'm a one-on-one life coach. And maybe I'll do group coaching at some point, but that's years down the line. I love doing one-on-one coaching because that's where the magic happens. You can get a certain amount. It's like it's like the difference between going to the gym by yourself, then going to the gym and taking a class, and then going to the gym and having a one-on-one personal trainer. I'm like your personal trainer for your clutter and your life. You pay for it. You pay more for it than the free stuff. You pay more for it than the group stuff. But man, that's how you get the results you want the fastest. Think of it that way. You know? Yeah, notice Clara is saying the voices in the backseat are judgy at all times. We all have them. They will never go away. But when you learn how to manage them, shh, quiet down. Hush, hush. I know you're afraid of stuff and yada yada. Shh, I love you, but hush. Shh. When you quiet them down, then your co-pilot, your soul, God is my co-pilot. I literally found a book that was called God is My Co-Pilot up in the attic. It was my dad's. And he wasn't a God. Well, he did go to church and everything. This was more like something from World War II. But your co-pilot, that voice in you that's quietly but confidently with nothing but 100% pure love saying, you want to do that? Let's do that. That's going to be fun. And it's coming from a good place. It's not like, wow, that sounds great, let's do it. You know what I mean? It's not like the wild-eyed, whatever. It's you being like, yeah, you know what? When I'm on my deathbed, I want to look back at my 58th birthday and I want to be like, you know what we did? We made something cool happen. I made something cool happen with my life. And I can do it, and I'm doing it, so I'm going to teach you. It's not as difficult as you think, and it can be really fun. And if all of this kind of life talk is a little bit too overwhelming, it's fine. You know what we do? We start with the clutter in your house. That's where I started. That's how I changed my life. I want to help you with that. There we go. Tiger Lily says, I want to get so decluttered and be able to afford to have a cleaning company come for my regular stuff. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I want that too. And then I realized for the amount of money they're charging, I'm like, I can do it myself. I don't need to be that clean. And then I go spend that money on something else. But it's fun to think of. That's your destination. Notice how you're building your destination. When you have something to aim for, it creates a line. It's like math. Point A to point, and we always say point A to point B. There's always this, I always say point A to point like Z, but not even Z. Z is like an end. Point A to point T. Between A and T, there are a bunch of letters. You aiming for T, you're gonna get there. There's stuff you have to do. Point R, I don't know. I'm gonna play with that. Point X. But unless you have a destination to aim for, it's kind of hard. You don't know where you're driving. If you don't know where you're aiming for, if you don't have a destination, you're just kind of driving all over the place. It just helps you to have a destination to focus on. Okay? Carla's going to be 50 Saturday. Happy birthday, my dear. It's time to free my family from all the stuff and not give them things. Yes, I even thought about that. I have a nephew that's going to be graduating high school in a couple weeks. I'm not giving him anything. I'm going to give him an opportunity to do something fun and prize him cash. Okay? But think of those things. Let's not perpetuate this junk culture. Wasn't that like an OMD record? Chris Pearson would know. This culture of stuff. How about giving somebody the gift of your time? How about giving somebody the gift of not having to deal with your stuff? You're giving them the gift of freedom because when you die, you've already gone through all your stuff. That's what I'm doing. I'm going through my stuff so nobody else has to deal with it. Of course, I'm going to leave a house full of items that I love, but there won't be this stuff hidden in drawers and boxes and attics and basements. It's going to be a little bit of stuff, and I'm going to also share with them that they don't need to keep any one of my things that they don't want. There are a few handfuls of things that would maybe take up one tote that I will ask to be carried on to the family tree because I want these things to have history, but it takes up about that much room. It's not going to be filling somebody else's house with my stuff unless they want to because I have such great taste and they love my stuff. But let me share with you, I have pretty much found that everybody wants their own taste. This is not how the house that I grew up in looked like. And I bet my nieces and nephew don't necessarily dig the stuff that I have. Totally okay. Yeah, I was thinking about actually that one persona says point D for decluttered. Yeah, point A to point D. We'll try that because then there's B, C, and D. There's a few steps in between. Okay? But I love stuff. Lisa Kempf. I love stuff too. Do you see a totally empty house? I mean, there's actually quite a bit of space here. But I want you to love the good stuff. Don't waste your time with the stuff you don't really like. The stuff you don't love. The stuff that doesn't work for you. The stuff that you're kind of meh about. That is the clutter. That's the clutter. Quality. We're going for quality, people. Quality, not quantity. Okay? Yep. I love it. Dorothy is saying, I'm learning this at 63. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Yes. I've learned this over the past, when did I turn 50? 7 or 8 years. The quality of my life since I hit 50 has surpassed all the other decades combined. All the other decades combined. And I only see it getting better and better. So I want to help you with that. Yep. And Carla is saying, yes, love our experiences and not the stuff. Yeah. I always think that the totes behind you are so organized, they're probably the coolest stuff ever. Lol. Okay, so Tiger Lily, I'll share with you. And Gigi the First says, stuff has to have a place. That's not the floor. Yes, each one of these things behind me. And this was interesting because this may resonate with some folks. And just really quickly, if you want to get on the mailing list, if you like what I'm saying, I'm realizing that it's almost 1 o'clock and I jump into coaching and consultations for the afternoon. DestinationDecluttered.com/join. Hop on the mailing list. You will find out when my TikTok lives are for this week and for next. You'll get the invitation to the May Zoom call, and there's a couple of other things. So destinationdecluttered.com/join. Also, if you want me to be your coach, we can do that. We could start as early as next week, seriously. I do a 10-week package or a 10-session package. People buy multiples of them. I have people up on their 4th package already because we work at a pace that feels right to you. We schedule it at a place that feels right to you. It all starts with a consultation. The consultation is free. It's just a chat between you and me on Zoom, because that's how I coach. I coach people from all over the country. Every time I do that, I'm looking at my map of the U.S. and I see little smiley face stickers, and I want to get a sticker for every state just because I'm goofy like that. And the neat thing is this year I have added some states to my decluttering. If you're interested in that, the info's on my website too, destinationdecluttered.com. Okay? I love it. Michelle is donating things for church. Some people go to Goodwill. Stuff has to have a place. Gigi the First. So here's what I want to kind of just share with you. One of my clients said this morning, I don't like to, maybe it's my ADHD, she said, but I don't like to do things the normal way. I think there's a better way to do stuff. I resist doing the boring normal stuff. And I said, oh my gosh, me too. So I don't like to go and get the bins. I mean, I do have some things. Where are they? Over here, I have some things that I bought at IKEA. I'm trying to move my arm right there, those orangey deals. I bought those at IKEA, seriously, like almost 20 years ago. I still like them and I use them. I like to get creative about what I do. So the stuff that I have, like these containers here, each one of them has some stuff in it that I'm storing. Let's see. I know that one has, like these ones have postcards and bracelets and earrings. And one of them actually is my sewing kit. I don't sew, but if I needed sewing stuff, it's there. All of this stuff, I did it my way. I did it my way. So having a place for your stuff doesn't mean your house has to look cookie cutter. I really actually kind of get irritated by the homogeneity, the bland everyday. Like, I want my house to look and feel like I want it to feel. And it does. I want to teach you that too. I don't want your house to look like my house. I want your house to look like your house. Okay? I love it. Carla is saying, I'm sorry that the night I am on your first from Alabama, I have to brag to fam to do so. You are. You're the first from Alabama. I would like to think you're not the last, because once your Alabama folks find out how awesome we're getting along, they're going to want to be coaching with me too. So yeah, I love that. I put a little smiley face sticker on Alabama. I was like, check it out. I have more clients in more states this year than I did last year. I'm collecting states, you know? I love this. Okay, so we've got 2 minutes left. I love this. Yay. Yep, just went to Savers, said Kara. I am on Bluetooth. Oh my gosh, I'm accompanying you as you're doing it. Drop some trash off, went to Savers. Rock on. I'm here to keep you company while you do this. And I am not just company hanging out and being like, oh, hey, let's chat. I can help you solve the problems that are keeping you stuck. I am so, and I don't say this, it may sound braggy, but I'm good at this. I delight in helping people when they're stuck. I am like the AAA with a like a, what do you call it? Like a, when you get your, like the little hook they put on your car, I help you get out of the mud. I show up and I'm like, hey, I'm here to help you. All right, here, you do your part, I'll do mine. We get you on the road, and then I teach you a different way of driving so you don't get in the mud again. Okay? Now I have to run because I have a client and I got some coaching and consultations. Ta-da! Somebody gave me some hands. I have no idea what it means, but I think it's a good thank you. Please, really quickly, follow me on TikTok. Follow my TikTok page, Destination Decluttered. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. If you would like to, I see some people already doing it, so I know the form works. Hop onto my mailing list. Lots of free cool stuff. DestinationDecluttered.com/join. And lastest but bestest is if you want me to be your one-on-one coaching coach, paid coaching. Sign up for a consultation. What do you get to lose? Seriously, what do you have to lose? What do you have to gain? Ooh, that's good stuff to leave you with. All right, folks? I will see you the next time I do a Destination Decluttered TikTok Live. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern. All right? Talk to you soon, you guys. You're awesome. You got this. Bye.